Hey everyone, lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. Today, you hear me talking about Oracle a lot, showing some of the amazing trades. I mean, this thing is pretty crazy at calling out the biggest stocks and giving you all the levels. So one thing I've been asked about a lot is a lot of people are like, walk us through it. What are all, a lot of you have seen the screenshots, whether it be on a webinar or whether it be in some of the YouTube videos or maybe on a live stream, etc. A lot of data here. Okay, so what I want to do is walk you through why this data is here and why it matters and how we use it. So what I'm going to do, you'll notice right across the top, MYTE. This is the ticker. I'm going to focus on one ticker for the extent of this video and just understand that everything I go through applies to all the other tickers. So what Oracle does, real quick, every single day, starting in pre-market, it builds you a watch list of the most volatile stocks. It actually inhales, for lack of a better term, all of the pre-market action as well as the first few minutes of the day. And that is key. Now, if you've been trading a while, you know this. If you're new, you might not. The opening candle, the 9:30 candle, is always the highest volume, most volatile candle of the day. So what Oracle does is it actually absorbs all of that information, brings it into its algorithm, and looks at past price action as well as current action to predict entries, exits, stop losses, and goals. And what it does is it only gives you a small list of stocks. Today you can see I've got 9 stocks out of almost 20,000 tickers out there. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to run any scans to build a watch list. I didn't have to do a rollover watch list of what the biggest gainers were the day before. Did all of that for me. So now, going into the market open, I got a small list of stocks, and then I simply trade the ones that hit the entry signal and ignore the ones that don't. This day, kind of an equal mix. We had some small spikers, not bad trades, but they were, 4 or 5%. Nothing, listen, for your 401k, 4 or 5% in a day, one day, when your 401k goes up 10% a year, not bad. But the best one was MYTE, mainly because it had the biggest spikeability, also setting up into the afternoon as I'm recording. And then the second, or one of the other greatest things is this entry didn't hit until midday. So you could have avoided that initial chop of all the crazy moves and simply set an alert or even set an order. The beautiful thing about these is you can use stop limit orders or stop trigger orders, as I like to call them, and you can literally walk away. Just you enter the stock if it hits the signal. It's not fully automated. This isn't like fully automated trading, but it's really close because you get the signals delivered to you right at the market open. And depending on how aggressive you are, you can either set alerts right below that signal, or it is a little more aggressive, a little more advanced. You can actually set those stop limit orders to enter you at that signal. And then you get an alert, you get a text, you're in the stock, you react from there. So going back to MYTE, and let me just walk you through the whole thing, okay? You're going to see there's 2 columns. You've got a long column as well as a short column. Then you got the symbol in the middle, and then you got the stock data. Now, for the sake of today, I'll do another video talking about short selling with Oracle. For the sake of today, we're going to ignore the short side. I promise you, I'll do another video for all you short sellers out there. It crushes it, okay? But for the sake of time, and I know most of you are long bias, buying low, looking to sell high. I don't want to make the video an hour long going over the short. We're going to focus on long because you don't need a margin account. You're not bound by the PDT. It's a little, you don't have to worry about locate fees and borrow fees and interest and all that like you do on the short side. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to focus on the green column, MYTE, as the emphasis. So starting right under symbol, pretty obvious, MYTE, the symbol, okay, that's pretty easy. Now underneath that, and then basically since the stock is highlighted in green, you know that it's a long opportunity. I've filtered out the short opportunities for the sake of the video, so you can see I've got 9 stocks that are potential longs, okay? So now below the symbol, you'll see some of these stocks have a green or a red indicator. So even if they're highlighted in green, that indicator underneath, and you can see a couple of them just flipped actually. So that is a real-time read of the current price action. whether the price action is trending up or if it's trending down. Now I know, I was a new trader 20 years ago. I know one of the biggest things you're struggling with is interpreting price action. Like, is this bullish price action uptrending? Is it bearish price action? How do I tell the difference? That's what that real-time indicator is doing. So back to MYTE, right now, it's still bullish. So let's say you took this trade in the morning. If that indicator is still leaning toward the bullish side, you would either be staying in the stock or maybe taking profits, or whatever you decide. If you got to leave for the day, etc., you can know that, well, it's still bullish. Maybe I'll let it ride. Now, vice versa, and who knows, this is a live video, it could flip red. Okay, if it flips red, that tells you, okay, the trend has shifted, I'm gonna take profits and I'm gonna move on. So you get that real-time read on price action, whether you're in the stock or not. Next, you'll see the signal. This is the most important and the coolest thing about Oracle. Right after the market open, after those first couple minutes, it gives you an entry. It tells you where to buy the stock at. I know from personal experience, it's one thing to have a ticker, but what do I do with it? What do I do with this stock? How do I trade it? So you'll see, in this instance, just 2 minutes after the market open, on MYTE, you had a $5.79 signal. Let me jump over to the chart and show you. So this stock was a morning fader. Who knows the morning fader? It's the hottest pattern out there right now. It's been the hottest pattern for months. That morning fader is money. It is money right now, and I expect it to be for quite some time. So if you look at MYTE, gapped up huge on news. Pretty lame news. This company's really sketch. But it gapped up huge on news, and then, if you notice, faded right into the market open. So this gray area on my chart, so you can see that area is the pre-market, 4 a.m. Eastern to 9:30 Eastern. So that's that light gray area. I recommend all new traders just watch the price action and wait for the signals. So you can see big pop, sketchy company, faded into the open, would have never been a buy at any point. You had the signal a few minutes after the market open, which was $5.79. That level didn't hit till noon. So you had plenty of time to be ready. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're commuting, maybe you're busy with other stuff. You had the signal delivered basically 2.5 hours before the stock hit the move. Think about that. You didn't have to guess. And if, listen, MYTE played out beautifully, but if it didn't hit the signal, think about it. You just don't trade the stock, okay? You don't have to be in everything. You don't have to try and catch everything. No signal hit means you don't trade it. Signal hit means go time, okay? So you can see right there, hits the signal, immediately goes vertical over $1 a share, over 20%. I mean, didn't even put in a red candle, okay? Straight to the upside. So you had that entry signal. Next, you'll see the long delta, okay? And this is really cool because Oracle does technical analysis. And I know I keep going back there, but I know one of the big struggles for me in the beginning is I would see people pointing out levels on the chart. This is support, this is resistance, this is consolidation, this is breakout, this is breakdown. And I would sit there and I'd be like, what are you looking at? I don't know what you're looking at. So Oracle calculates all of the major support or all the major resistance levels to the upside, as well as all the support levels to the downside. So you can see that the current long delta is 129 and it's approaching filling that bar, okay? And what that's denoting is the signal to the next major resistance point. Now and these are all intricacies that I'll go over in this video, but if you notice all of the resistance levels that MYTE has already broken are in just normal green. If you're looking closely, you'll see $7.07 is the current major resistance point, which means if this stock, like it's doing, continues to butt up against that level and it doesn't fill the long delta to the next level, it's probably a good idea to just take profits and move on. Now, what you will see is as that long delta fills up to 707, Oracle's going to recalculate the next highest resistance level. That long delta will reset, and as long as that stock stays above the previous resistance level, which if you know technical analysis, that means it's now become support. So if it can stay above 707, you now have the next resistance level to the upside to look for the same process to repeat. So in this scenario, I mean, we're real time right now, you will see if MYTE can break 707 on volume, that long delta will fill, it will reset to the next level, and if it can stay above 707 and the bullish action with our bearish bullish indicator stays green, it literally tells you to stay in the stock. So I know, again, I was new a long time ago, but I remember those days, they were bad. Ugh. But the point is, I know what happens with so many of you. You instantly get in the profits and you take profits because, listen, especially as a new trader, you're struggling. So anytime you see green, you're out right away. Like, drop me a comment. How many of you do that? You're up puny, but you're like, thank goodness I'm finally green. So you take profits and then the stock rips. So let me know, okay? I get it, I hear it a lot. I understand it. You're like, I'm finally green in a trade. You make 50 bucks and then the stock rips and you could have made 500 or 1,000 and it frustrates you even more. By using this thing, you can now know if it breaks that level, the indicator stays bullish, I'm gonna ride this thing. Like Oracle's telling me that the stock is bullish, so I'm not gonna sell for 10 cents a share when there's still a lot of upside to go. So that's how we use that long delta. You can see it's almost filled. It's almost there. Once 707 breaks, you'll get a new resistance level. It'll reset back, and then you can use the bullish bearish indicator to guide you through it. Next is the resistance level, which we already talked about. You'll see it's 708, okay? It rounds to a certain extent. You can see on my chart it's 70775. Oracle's very detailed on its decimal points, but it's basically 708. So that is so we can look at it visually. We can look at it on the chart, or we can just follow Oracle. Now that's the current resistance point. If it can break 708, that resistance level will reset, and you'll know the next point to look for the next move higher. Next is the max. That's just telling you how far the stock has moved past the signal. So the signal was 579. Stock went to just over, or what was the high of the day? 7 was the high. So what that's telling you, as of right now, this stock made a 20.9% move past the signal. Not bad. As we move over, what this is just a really way for you to shortcut to see the data that really matters, okay? So now now what I do with Oracle, I'm on my single screen laptop right now. I have multiple screens. I'm not saying you have to, but it is handy having multiple screens as a day trader. So I've got my chart and I've got my Oracle on another monitor, so I can kind of match these things up. But especially if you're on a single screen laptop, it can be hard to flip back and forth, so you know the current last price. So the last price that this thing printed at, 680, you can see it real time updating. The percent change is the change on the day, not from the Oracle signal, on the day. So today, MYTE is up 57%. You can see the daily volume, 11.9 million. You can see the float, which we love these low float stocks. So you can see the float in one quick snapshot, and then the market cap. You know how big this stock is. Typically when we're day trading, we're looking for the smallest market cap stocks because they have the most potential to explode higher. So that's the read of the Oracle channels as well as the tables. Then another feature that I absolutely love is basically the Oracle points mapped out on this, for lack of a better term, ruler, okay? And what you'll see here, and this is really cool, guys, you'll see all of the major resistance levels. You can see that the current one of 708, highlighted in green, and then the cool thing is, you can see how many times this stock has tested that level and fell back below. So let's go back to the lower level of 598, okay? That was the initial resistance point after it hit the signal. You can see it denoted on my chart right here, 597.5. Again, it rounds because you don't need all the decimals. But if I go back to the Oracle point, 24 times this stock tested that level and pulled back. So the way we use that, 24 is kind of a low number. It's not bad. The way we use that is let's think about 708, that next major resistance level. We're looking for the long delta to fill and see if the stock can close above that to tell us we're going to stay bullish. So you can see right now it's a zero counter. It has not hit that price yet. So what we're going to do is if it can break 708, we stay bullish because the stock is still uptrending. But if we start seeing that stock and that counter continue to increment and increment and increment where it just can't break that level, then that's another sign, hey, 20% move, not a bad trade, can't get itself above that resistance level, and it just keeps incrementing and incrementing because it's testing and failing. That's our indication, again, that maybe we should just take our profit and stay happy. Now, if it can bust through that, maybe increment a few times, maybe 24 times. I mean, that's not a crazy high number. Sometimes you'll see these stocks test a level hundreds of times. And then what happens is, and this is the great thing, you see that happening. You're like, man, that's incrementing, incrementing. It can't break. You know what? I'm going to be happy with 20%. I'm going to move on. And guess what happens? A lot of the times when that increment gets really high, that's when the stock washes out and collapses. So by using that, you can be out before the big pullback, the red dagger, as they say. And you'll see that. You'll see it over time, many, many times, hundreds of increments that can't break. Then 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, an hour later, stock gets wrecked. Think about the power of that. You could literally see it happen real time. Take your 20% and not worry about the washout into the end of the day. Then, as I mentioned, you can see the distance. You can see the long delta denoted below, the distance between all of the major levels, and then you can see all of the levels mapped out. So if MYTE can break 708 and close above that, the next major resistance level is going to be 886. If it can really get going and break that, next one's 1175. So, and then what will happen, that bright green, just like on your chart, will flip to 886. So you can visually see this play out in real time and really just allow you to guide through the trade and maximize your gains and minimize your losses. So guys, that's a full tour. Hopefully I answered every single question. Couple things before I wrap up. Any questions, drop them in the comments, okay? I broke it all down, walked through everything. I know I talk a little fast. Hit me with comments. We will watch them. I can do a follow-up video. Maybe I'll watch them in the comments as well. Now, second and probably most important thing, we went through a lot of data. Okay, we went through a lot of stuff here in 10 minutes. If you're really looking to get in-depth in using this tool, there's a limit to what I can do in a YouTube video. Love doing these. I give you as much value as I possibly can. But there's also the fact that this is a real-time tool. If you want to see it real-time, used by me, live on a webinar, ask me questions live. I'll answer instantly. We'll use it together. We'll trade it together. Check out the Daily Income Trader system. It's literally what I do. Twice a day, every single trading day. I haven't missed a day in 10 years, okay? If you really want to learn this thing in depth, check out the Daily Income Trader system. Join me twice a day. We'll use it together.